Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah, born and raised in Saudi Arabia and later moved to Canada, where I obtained an MA in Professional International and Intercultural Communication and PhD in Rehabilitation Sciences. My journey across cultures has shown me how digital narratives shape our identities. Who gets to control those stories? Let's explore this together with a few questions. What makes your culture, or cultures, unique, whether it's your values, traditions, or stories? Do you see your culture accurately reflected in digital media and online platforms? Do you feel you have the power to shape those narratives and challenge misrepresentations? If you're thinking no to any of these, you're not alone, and that's what we're here to address today. Global digitalization has accelerated cultural exchange, contributing to a gradual blending of world societies into a hybrid, homogenized culture. Advanced communications technology, primarily originating in the West, has often overshadowed the diversity of global social traditions, norms, and rituals, perpetuating stereotypes through oversimplification and misrepresentation of the non-Western world. Drawing on the spiral of silence theory, Noel Newman, 1974, this presentation argues that non-Western cultural perspectives are frequently marginalized by a dominant group of Orientalist narratives. It explores how media-driven misrepresentations create challenges for educators in countering stereotypical depictions of non-Western cultures that fail to reflect social realities. To address the challenges of cultural misrepresentation, this presentation aims to 1. Explore how globalization and digital media shape cultural identities, drawing on personal and scholarly cross-cultural perspectives. 2. Highlight educators' role as innovators in challenging media biases, using the spiral of silence framework and text-supported teaching methods. 3. Promote AI tools in curricula to empower students to analyze stereotypes and engage with diverse perspectives. Scholarly evidence shows that Western media's global dominance has spread stereotypes, rooted in historical colonization, that upheld Western supremacy. To boost audience interest, media often portray non-Western cultures as exotic, primitive, or radical, oversimplifying their complexities. For example, people of color are frequently depicted as mysterious or violent others, while Muslim women are shown as oppressed, passive, or submissive, often tied to modest clothing like the hijab due to male control. These narrow portrayals ignore personal choice, faith, and cultural diversity, failing to reflect social realities. Media stereotypes shape cultural perceptions. In my cross-cultural experiences, I've faced assumptions that misaligned with my identity. Calmness and politeness, valued in my Arab Muslim culture in conveying respect, were sometimes misinterpreted as submission or voicelessness, reflecting Western media's skewed lens on Muslim women. In my home culture, respect for elders, parents, and teachers is expressed through politeness and restraint, often seen as wisdom. Silence is valued as a symbol of good manners. However, these norms don't translate across cultures, and media stereotypes exacerbate misunderstandings, leading to patronizing interactions. Cultures evolve, creating intra- and intercultural differences over time. Saint Mary, a shared figure in Muslim and Western traditions, exemplifies this. In Islam, she is a revered role model of piety, courage, and gender equality. The Quran portrays her defying patriarchy, serving in the temple despite societal norms, and miraculously giving birth to Jesus. Facing accusations, she remained silent, letting her newborn speak to affirm her virtue. In both cultures, Mary embodies modesty, but its expression varies. In Muslim societies, modesty in dress and behavior, like wearing a hijab, reflects faith and dignity, often empowering women by emphasizing character over appearance. In Western contexts, modesty is more individualistic, often secular, and tied to professional settings. Western media often ignores these cross-cultural nuances, aligning with an ethnocentric view. It overlooks Muslim women's agency and diversity, silencing their voices and reinforcing stereotypes as reality. This aligns with the spiral of silence theory, where dominant narratives marginalize minority perspectives. The spiral of silence, proposed by Elizabeth Noel Newman, 1974, explains why people with minority opinions often stay silent due to fear of social isolation. This dynamic process influences public opinion, as individuals align with perceived majority views to avoid rejection. Mass media amplifies this by shaping dominant narratives, skewing public perception, and creating pluralistic ignorance. Media's selective portrayals elevate certain perspectives while marginalizing others, shaping societal norms and driving social change. On social media, users they avoid expressing minority views in homogeneous networks to escape ostracism. The spiral of silence applies across cultures. In Western individualistic societies, tested during political elections, and in Eastern collective cultures, social norms shape whether people voice opinions. Personality traits like extroversion or conscientiousness influence willingness to speak in unfriendly opinion climates, affecting moral behavior in expressing views. Gender plays a significant role. Women often self-censor in male-dominated settings, especially when traditional gender stereotypes prevail, suppressing their views on non-traditional feminist topics. They are more likely to speak when perceiving social support for feminism or gender equality, but may stay silent on leadership or power issues when in the minority. Women from marginalized groups, like women of color, face heightened fear of social sanctions. Online, anonymity may reduce fear of rejection, but women still encounter greater harassment when sharing minority opinions, reinforcing silence. An exception to the spiral of silence exists in two groups: hardcore nonconformists and the avant-garde. Hardcore nonconformists are individuals who face rejection due to their beliefs, while the avant-garde includes innovative, forward-thinking individuals such as intellectuals, artists, activists, and reformers. Educators, as avant-garde innovators, have the potential to unite diverse perspectives, fostering inclusive representation across all groups. Educators can develop critical pedagogies to counter post-truth dynamics. The following strategies outline how educators can use critical pedagogies to challenge media biases and reshape cultural discourse. 1. Raising awareness. Educators should raise awareness about the spiral of silence, teaching students how media often amplifies majority views, marginalizing diverse perspectives, such as those of non-Western cultures. By fostering an understanding of this dynamic, educators empower students to break the cycle of marginalization and promote inclusivity. 2. Tech-enhanced methods. Educators can leverage digital platforms, including learning management systems, such as Google Classroom, Moodle educational apps, social media, virtual discussions, or interactive media like videos and simulations, to guide students in challenging stereotypes and promoting inclusive narratives. For example, tools like Padlet can host discussions where students analyze media portrayals, encouraging critical thinking and collaboration to counter biases and foster diverse viewpoints. 3. AI-supported tools. Integrating AI-driven content analysis into curricula enables students to uncover biases in media. Natural language processing, NLP, which combines computational linguistics, machine learning, and computer science, allows computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language. NLP can process and analyze media content, identify patterns of bias or stereotypes, and curate diverse perspectives. This empowers students to challenge dominant narratives, amplify marginalized voices, and dismantle the spiral of silence. Now that you're aware of the spiral of silence and its role in suppressing minority perspectives, as well as strategies to counter media biases, will you contribute to empowering marginalized voices? Will you promote inclusive, technology-enhanced, and equitable learning environments? Thank you.